Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to do a quick mic check. Seems to be working. Mic check, mic check. All right, we are good. So, wait to get some people up in here, then we'll get started. Share this out, actually. What is up, guys? We already got 2 people in the building. I am just going to share this stream out real quick. And, then we can have a lot of things to talk about today or tonight or whatever about this ball game. The Eagles clinch the NFC East with a 34-17 win over the New York Giants. Carson Wentz setting records, set the new single-season record for completions, set a new record for passing yards in a season. He's also the first quarterback for the Eagles that's ever thrown for 4,000 yards in a season. He is also the first quarterback in NFL history that has thrown for 4,000 yards without having a single wide receiver that's over 500 yards receiving for the season. So Carson Wentz doing big things when it matters the most. Had a few phenomenal throws today. He had one that was thrown to Robert Davis, I think it was. Threw a pass to Robert Davis, and it actually got called back. It was a great throw, a great catch, but it got called back due to Big V had a hold penalty. He had a holding penalty that actually had the play get called back. So it really wasn't a good thing. Next thing was the defense, man. I got to give the defense their props where the props is due. The defense showed up. The New York Giants were able to make some plays in us that made this game interesting. They had a lot of people feeling a little nervous. But in the end, the defense stepped up, put Daniel Jones under duress, caused him to fumble. Sidney Jones had an interception in the fourth quarter. So the defense really showed up. Cravon LeBlanc was all over the place, breaking passes up. I really got to give him some props. He really was going out there like he was our best corner. Golden Tate made a phenomenal catch on us. Saquon Barkley broke loose. Other than that, Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies, Daniel whatever kind of coins, he wasn't dropping no dimes on us tonight. So this defense came out and it was hungry, and it didn't matter if guys got injured. There was guys that were all over the blue tent going in and out of the game. We lost Miles Sanders in this game. We lost Brandon Brooks in this game. Brandon Graham came out for a few plays. It didn't matter, though. The team stayed focused. They were on a mission, and they came out and they did what they had to do to win this division. So this just tells you the resiliency of the Philadelphia Eagles is like no other team in the National Football League. They continue to fight and fight and fight every single year, no matter how many players are injured. And we did have a lot of starters. You mean to tell me we come into this game, no Lane Johnson, no Deshaun Jackson, no Alshon Jeffrey, no Nelson Aguilar, no Zach Ertz, Brandon Brooks comes out, Miles Sanders comes out, Jordan Howard plays like one snap. They didn't really use him that much, so credit to Boston Scott for weathering the storm with 135 total yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. The first Eagles running back since LaShawn McCoy in 2011 to rush for 3 touchdowns. So congrats to Boston Scott for really weathering the storm when Miles Sanders went out with the ankle injury. So doesn't matter what you throw at this team, they will fight through it and they will come out on top. So when you win the way we have won the last 3 years, the last 3 seasons, this many injuries. Injuries. It's like we're having a gathering. We're like having a social barbecue cookout or something in the freaking blue tent. But it's not enough to stop this team from winning games. And when that happens, mentally, it's great for your football team because they think there's no challenge that's too big for them to overcome. So you have a Seattle Seahawks team that's coming into our house next week. We're red hot. We've won 4 straight. We won this division when no one really thought we could. Halfway through the season, no one thought this team would make the playoffs. And then we had even more injuries than we had then. But somehow we ran the table. A few weeks ago, we lost to the Miami Dolphins. Everyone was clowning us. But this team has come to life, both sides of the ball. It's been a collective effort all around. Doug Peterson coaching his ass off after we said a lot of shit about him. Listen, I don't love him as a play caller, but I have loved him the last 4 weeks as a play caller. Carson Wentz earning his money every single week. Amazing throw made an amazing throw to Dallas Goedert and great catch. I don't know how he was able to do that. It was a great throw, great catch. Greg Ward had a big reception. They had this new guy on the team, number 16, a guy that we just brought in from the practice squad and making a phenomenal catch. Another great throw from Wentz. One throw to Rob Davis got called back because of a hold. But Carson Wentz was making throws. He made that unbelievable touchdown pass to Joshua Perkins across his body, rolled out, threw it all the way across to the other side of the field. Touchdown. Carson Wentz out there looking like a bad man. And this guy's, you can see it on the field. This guy is getting confident. And when he's confident, everyone's confident. The whole team is confident right now. Feeling confident, feeling good about themselves, having won 4 straight. Seattle coming up inches short against the San Francisco 49ers. So the Seattle Seahawks, they will be coming to Philadelphia next week on Sunday, 4:40 Eastern here in Philly. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. It's going to be a big test. Carson Wentz in the first playoff game. The Eagles are going to have to step up. We owe this team one. We're due for a win against them. They have won 5 in a row against us. We have never beaten Russell Wilson. And the Eagles and Seahawks have never met in a playoff game. So it's going to be interesting to see, how this team's ready. Hopefully they come prepared. And they take these Seahawks out. Because if they're able to take these Seahawks out, next week we will go to the San Francisco 49ers. Well, not next week, but the following week. We will go to the San Francisco 49ers, and Deshaun Jackson will play in that game. So whatever we got to do to win this game, do it. Defense is unbelievable at home. Suspect on the road. Just contain Russell Wilson, take care of business. Let's defend our home turf. Let's prove to the entire league that we are supposed to be here. Everyone clowned the NFC East the whole year. It's time. It's time to shut a lot of people up. Like Carson Wentz has shut people up. Let's go through the list of the narratives that this guy has destroyed this year. Where shall we begin? Let's start with Carson Wentz is overpaid. All right? So when you're in a situation with this many injuries, sometimes you got to depend on your franchise guy to say, all right, follow me. Follow me. I will take us where we need to go. That's what he has done this month. He is red hot in December. He is playing like the best. There's not a quarterback that's playing better than him right now. There's none. Lamar Jackson, nope. Mahomes, nope. Russell Wilson, nope. Drew Brees, nope. Aaron Rodgers, nope. Nope. No quarterback is playing better than him when it matters the most this time of the year when you got to win to get in. You can't lose. You can't lose. Ever since the Miami Dolphins game, we put ourselves in a situation where we can't lose or the season is over. We are eliminated with any loss in the last 4 games. A lot of them come down to the wire. Giants overtime win. Then the Redskins win the final minute. And then you had last week against Dallas, the defense had to get a stop to keep them from tying the game. So Carson Wentz has stepped up when he's had to step up. The defense has had to step up. The defense has stepped up when they have been called upon to step up. So it's been a total team effort. The Eagles I think they're ready for another challenge. 3rd year in a row being in the NFL playoffs. It's going to be great, man. So I'm looking forward to Carson Wentz's first playoff game. Like I said, this guy's been great. This guy's been elite. He shut up every single fucking narrative about him. He'll never lead a team to the playoffs. He did that. He's not going to stay healthy. He's not going to play 16 games. He's going to get hurt by week 4. He's going to get hurt by week 6. He's going to get hurt by week 12. He's not going to play in December. He never does. He proved that wrong. He shut a lot of people up. All the Foles people that were calling for his head a few weeks ago that said, see, I told you we should have kept Foles and traded this guy. This guy doesn't have it. He shut down all of those narratives that people put out there about him. So he's going to continue to prove people wrong. So next week, if he wins the playoff game, people are going to be moving the sticks again. They're going to shift their narrative to something else. It's going to be, oh, well, Carson Wentz, he can't win the Eagles a Super Bowl like Nick Foles did. That's going to be the new narrative. Okay? Doesn't matter. He is going to shatter that narrative. And one day, he will bring another Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? So those are pretty much my thoughts on the game. Today, like I said, handled business. The game was back and forth early on, mainly early in the second half. It was 10-3 at half. Then the Giants got some things going on their opening drive. Golden Tate scored that touchdown. Then it was 10-10. Then the Eagles answered, and it was 17-10. Saquon breaks loose again. It's a tie game. Then there's no turning back. This defense got fed up. Jim Schwartz got fed up. It was said that Jim Schwartz was heated on the sideline during this game, and he told the defense, hey, you guys need to start doing your fucking jobs. And they started doing their fucking jobs. Forced 2 turnovers on Daniel Jones. Shut down the New York Giants offense. Carson Wentz and the walk-ons, as I like to call them. All these walk-on players walking on to the team. Never played in the NFL before. Finding ways to win when it matters the most. That's a huge confidence builder for Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Looking forward to seeing what happens. So now I'm going to run through some comments. I appreciate you guys joining the show. There's 8 people in here. There's been 10 people in here. I'm going to run through some comments and stuff and, see what you guys have to say. Nate, what is up, man? Let's see what we got on here. Joseph, what's up? He says, what's up? I'm hyped. It's playoff time. Yeah, it's very exciting. The season has been a roller coaster, but it's very exciting because to see Carson Wentz do what he's done with all these injuries, and you lose Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is a huge piece to lose, but Dallas Goedert comes in and he balls out. Next man up is all over this locker room, and all these guys believe. They believe in one another, and you can see it on the field. So it is very exciting to see this team come together when it mattered the most, and get back into the playoffs. Third straight year being in the playoffs. So absolutely very exciting. Yep, just got to take care of the football against Seattle, and I really think we're going to have a chance to win this game. I think we got to try. We got to stay on the field. That's going to be very important. So hopefully Miles Sanders was just a little dinged up, and he'll be able to come back, and we'll be able to use him, Jordan Howard, and Boston Scott, and try to stay on the field. Try to keep Russell, on the sidelines as much as possible. We don't want our defense to get too gassed chasing after him, because we know, he's really good at escaping the pocket and doing things like that. And playing against Russell Wilson can really wear out your pass rushers. So we gotta find a way to stay on the field. I think is going to be the biggest key to winning next week. From 5-7 to 9-7, 4 straight wins. That's right, PGG. Pro Gamer Galaxy weighing in. Green Bay Packers. The Packers hold the 2 seed in a first-round bye. So if we beat Seattle, the good thing is we won't be forced to go to Green Bay in the divisional round. So we would only have to go back to Green Bay in a scenario where, they won the divisional round, and, we had to they win in the divisional round, and then we go to them if they win in the divisional round for the NFC Championship. So that's a good thing. I would rather play Seattle at home and then play at San Francisco, as opposed to play San Francisco at home, beat San Francisco, and then you go to Green Bay in the divisional round. I would rather have the other way around. Go to Seattle, go to San Fran, go to Green Bay or New Orleans. Either one. But yeah, that's the way I see it. And I think the Eagles got an opportunity in front of them if they can somehow find a way to string another victory together against Seattle. You can get Deshaun Jackson back in the divisional round. He is eligible to be activated off of IR after the Eagles and Seahawks playoff game. Granted, we win that game. So that's really the main thing that I'm looking forward to, because if you see the way these practice squad guys, the walk-ons as I call them, you see the way these guys have performed. Imagine you just bring one guy who is elite at what he does, or has been elite at what he does throughout his career, just being one of the best deep threat receivers of all time. It's going to do so much for us. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of these playoffs play out. It's going to be very interesting. That's right, Eagles Bandit, our quarterback, Carson Wentz. That is our QB. He is flat out getting it done. It's awesome, man. It's awesome, man. So Joseph says it's great that Wentz is finally getting to play in a playoff atmosphere. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Even the last 4 games, these games have all been playoff type of atmospheres, and he's gotten it done every single week. He hasn't let us down yet. So this guy's proven he can play in big games. He can win big games. He's shown it to me. He's shown it to me, and he's shown it to everyone. And whether people want to acknowledge it or not, that's a different story. But this guy is smashing every single narrative that people are saying about him. So it's time for people to stop the bullshit and put some respect on this guy's name. He's fucking getting it done. He's the man. He deserves every penny that we paid him, and he has shown us that he is deserving of the contract, as he has pretty much been carrying us for several weeks now. So this guy deserves a shit ton of credit, and he is getting it from me. I know that much. Cowboy fans talking about congrats on the first round exit after you went 8-8 with all that talent. Dallas Cowboy fans. I wasn't able to do the read and react show, last week or the other night when Joey took over the show on his channel. Shout out to Joey Shakes. He is missing tonight's show due to load management, but I missed the other show due to load management. So, sometimes we alternate on that. But anyway, in my honor, he did the sit the fuck down segment, and he gave the Cowboys the award, even though the Cowboys actually weren't on top of the poll. Cowboys were in second place, but it doesn't really matter because we're allowed to, give our own nominations for sit the fuck down. But you Cowboy fans, it's time for you guys to sit the fuck down. All the excuses, all the bullshit, you guys have all the talent in the world, okay? You ranted and raved about Dak Prescott the whole season until you played us the second game. Talked a lot of shit the first go around, okay? It was over. It was over. You guys won the Super Bowl after you beat us. Oh, we've won 4 in a row against the Eagles. Well, how's that working out for you? And what's funny is every year the Cowboys come up short. And every year they have a new scapegoat. Have you guys noticed this trend? So let me get this straight. You got 4 straight years, 3 or 4 straight years. I'll go back to 2017. I'll start in 2017. Even though it's been pretty much every year since 1996, people doing this shit with the Cowboy fans. 2017, it's Dez Bryant's fault. Last year, it's freaking Scott Linehan's fault. This year, it's Jason Garrett's fault. No, it's not all Jason Garrett's fault. I'll say this about Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett is the most incompetent, uninspiring dope probably in the history of mankind. He honestly is. But at the end of the day, Jason Garrett is not the one that's making DeMarcus Lawrence, who got paid $100 million. He is not the one making DeMarcus Lawrence have a season where he gets 5 sacks. Josh Sweat has 5 sacks. Josh Sweat, a backup, a second-string defensive end on our team, has the same amount of sacks as $100 million DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay? Jason Garrett's not the one that's making Dak Prescott miss Tavon Austin wide open for a touchdown. Miss Amari Cooper wide open for a touchdown. Jason Garrett is not the one who has made Amari Cooper lead the NFL in dropped passes every single year since 2015. Jason Garrett is not the one who forced Ezekiel Elliott in the biggest game of the year to rush for under 50 yards. This is the problem with Cowboy fans. They don't have the balls to bash their own fucking players. It's always coaching. It's always someone else's fucking fault. They don't hold their players to standards. They don't hold their players to any standards. They coddle them and treat them like they're a special needs kid at recess on the tetherball court. That's what they do. That's what y'all do. And I see you in here talking shit, Mosh. You're one of the worst of them all. Okay? You're just a typical everyday Cowboys fan that makes bullshit excuses. So I'm actually kind of impressed, to be honest, that you would have the balls to show up to my stream after you had another miserable fucking failure of a season. 8-8. Have fun watching us next week. I hope you get your snacks and your beer, your fucking Duck Dynasty, long-ass hair, scraggly-ass beard, and sit your ass on the couch and enjoy that game. I sure hope you do. So, that's all I got to say about the fucking Cowboy fans. I'm going to get to some more comments now. But yeah, that was a good little thing to get off my chest with the whole Dallas Cowboys and shit. What's up, Jen? South of Haven 88, which is AKA Mosh. He wants to be on my fucking stream. No, I don't allow scum on my fucking streams. So take that shit somewhere else. Okay? One person I will fucking let on my stream is my main man, Joey Shakes. My partner in crime. So I'm going to send him the link in here. And he's actually going to come off of his load management. He's going to get on the stream with me. And we're going to see how the rest of this plays out. So we might be talking a lot longer than I thought. So I'm going to get some more comments. Oh, fucking Taco Charlton, who they released, actually has more sacks than DeMarcus Lawrence. Ain't that about a bitch, Dallas Nation? Ain't that about a bitch? Cowboy X Factor, honestly, is the only Cowboys fan on YouTube. No, he's not the only one I have respect. There's probably a select few that I do, but he's one of the only Cowboy fans that I actually have some respect for. Who can King James asks, who can doubt Carson Wentz now? I don't know. I don't know what more does he have to do that he hasn't already done yet, but people are going to keep doubting him. People have had these narratives about Carson Wentz that he has fucking smashed all of them. Okay? He has smashed every single narrative. What up, Joey Shake?
What up?
So I was just talking about Carson Wentz. He smashed every single fucking narrative that people have said about him. We'll start with the Nick Foles propaganda bullshit with, this team plays better for Nick Foles, and Doug Peterson is a better coach for Nick Foles. Nick Foles fits the system better. The players that are around the two quarterbacks, they play better. They gravitate towards Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a better leader. Nick Foles is holding a clipboard for the last place Jaguars for a fifth-round rookie quarterback, Gardner Minshew. Carson Wentz is balling out of his mind with walk-ons, carrying the team. First quarterback in Eagles history to throw 4,000 in a season. First quarterback in NFL history to throw 4,000 without having a receiver, wide receiver over 500 yards. He can't stay healthy. Played 16 games. Everyone said he wouldn't play this long. Everyone said he's injury prone. Smashed that narrative too. He won't play a playoff game. He never has played a playoff game. Now they're going to move it to he'll never win a playoff game. He wins next week, they'll say he'll never win a Super Bowl. If they're going to keep moving the narratives, but it doesn't matter because this guy is special and he's smashing every single narrative.
Yeah. That's how it goes, man. There's going to be excuse after excuse after excuse, and then after a while, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. It's Carson Wentz breaks all these records today, and then not even have a receiver that's over 500 yards. I mean, just seeing this receiver court today really made me proud. Like, just even a guy that we just signed this week, Deontay. What's his name? I forgot his damn name.
I know, I forgot his damn name too, but he made a phenomenal catch.
Yeah, he made two catches today, and that big, it was like first and 20, whatever it was. So we had that penalty or whatnot.
Right. And that was after Rob Davis made a phenomenal catch, and he got called back due to Big V had a holding And then on the very next play, that guy, he steps right in and he makes another phenomenal play.
Right. Yeah, I just sense it's just a different team now. Like everybody's just hungry. Like I just see just a passion, and they want to win. And even Doug said in his post game, he pretty much said like these guys don't even want to take days off. Like these guys want to come in. Like if they could come in tomorrow, they'd come in and they want to get to work immediately. And like half of these guys have never been in a playoff game, have never been in a situation like this, has never been under the spotlight. Even though it's crazy because the only receiver that's like really separating from the others is mostly Greg Ward. He's probably the one that's separating a little bit more than everybody else, but everybody's being productive regardless of what we have out there, even with Robert Davis and these other guys. It's amazing. Just everyone's buying into the culture and staying behind this team and with Doug and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I'm really proud. I am.
Sure.
Like this. I think we got rid of, the problems, that we had to get rid of, which was, a couple wide receivers that aren't playing right now. And hopefully I'm hoping to God that that they're not. Greg Ward beat Nelson Aguilar out of his job, regardless of what the hell,
Absolutely.
That's bullshit because hopefully that doesn't happen. And I know Jordan Howard was active. I think he was only in maybe 2 or 3 plays. It wasn't much, but he was just there just to be in the backfield. But I guess I see why. Miles Sanders, I don't know what the case is with him. I heard he's going to be okay. He seemed okay, so I think just rest him the rest of the week. We kind of need him next week, and if not, then it's going to be the Boston Scott and Jordan Howard show next week.
And Boston Scott rose to the challenge today. First running back since LaShawn McCoy in 2011 to have 3 rushing touchdowns in a game. Also, 135 total yards. Had some huge explosive plays down the stretch. So this future is looking bright for the Eagles' backfield when you look at Miles Sanders, what he's done since Jordan Howard went out, and you see what Boston Scott has done in this 4-game stretch where we needed him the most. So I really did like what I saw when Miles Sanders went down. That was a big hit to the offense, but Boston Scott was able to step in and just weather the storm. It was really good and really encouraging to see.
Yeah, like Boston Scott, like this is a guy that's was a walk-on in college, a guy that was the 201st pick of the draft a few years back, and was on practice squads pretty much most of his career. Maybe he got a chance in a game, maybe a play or two with the Saints, a while ago. But as soon as his number was called, he came up, he rose to the occasion, when his number was called, he got in the game. And I mean, this is like the guy that we really wanted in the backfield, especially like that was,
right.
We knew that, Boston Scott looked good in preseason. He did. He was making guys miss. He was getting a lot of runs. And then, Darren Sproles got signed, and that kind of diminished. That took away his spot pretty much for the young guys. So we kind of were like, I didn't like it. I was like half with it because I do like Sproles, but I was kind of like, I don't even know if this is really going to be the right decision. But when injuries pile up, like think about like this, 2017, at the opener of the Giants, Darren Sproles got hurt in that game, and that was probably a gift for us because Corey Clement rose to the occasion, and we probably would have never knew what Corey Clement could do that year if Darren Sproles was still healthy. Right. And then all of a sudden now, with guys getting hurt and, and Jordan Howard being out and they have to bring someone else up, and it's like another blessing that, and it sets you up for like – it sets you up for 2020 because now look at all these receivers you have now. It's like now you have a competition like crazy. Like Carson Wentz could take all these guys in the offseason, build chemistry, get them better. You know what I mean? Just whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of these guys. Whether they have 1 catch, 2 catches, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. As long as they get in the game. Joshua Perkins gets a touchdown today. I was happy for him. That guy can get some separation on the field.
Yeah, he can really play.
He's a big body, and he would have had a second touchdown if he just, if he didn't stop that route. He did like a post corner, and he didn't stop. He kind of slowed down at the end of the route, and Carson had the ball in the right spot, but he wasn't in that spot. So could have had 2 touchdowns today. So, and, even not having Zach Ertz on the field, Dallas Goedert is still, Wentz is throwing it up. He's catching them. And, I think
Goedert had a phenomenal catch today.
Yeah.
The one where he was on a 3rd and long. He got the 2 feet in. Wentz put it right where it needed to be, where only Goddard could get it, and made a spectacular catch for a first down. So a lot of people were concerned with Ertz and what Ertz brings to the table, and defenses try to double team him because he's Carson Wentz's guy. But Dallas Goedert steps right in, and he's showing people that he can be a starting tight end in this league.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe I don't know what the difference between Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. Maybe Zach Ertz has that better route running, maybe by like a hair. But, Dallas Goedert has the big body, and he could break tackles. That's one thing that, that's a knock on Ertz. He can't really break tackles at all. He just catches the ball, falls down, and that's it. We know. But Carson's got to spread the ball around. You spread the ball around, you're going to win the football game regardless. I mean, you can't pass the tight ends all the time, which I'm glad that we're off that now. We're kind of, giving these other guys chances now. I mean, guys, I'm like Robert Davis. I'm like, just Greg Ward, like, brand new receiver core. Just like, it's just, even the announcers to the game are like, I've never seen a team deal with so many injuries, but most teams would quit. And counting the injuries we have between the guys that are out and the guys on IR, I counted 10 guys out.
That's been the story for the Eagles for 3 years now. There is no, all our key players got hurt, so we're just gonna throw the season away. No, that doesn't happen here. When guys go down, other guys are expected to step in and get the job done. Because that standard was set in 2017, and it carried over 2018, and it's carried over to 2019. And I hope the same amount of injuries don't happen in 2020, but if they do, it's going to be expected to do it again, because that's the standard and the culture that's been set by the Philadelphia Eagles and Doug Peterson.
Right. And not even that, and then you kind of look at some of these signings that Howie Roseman did make, like bringing Timmy Jernigan back. That was, for nothing pretty much. And, there's just certain things that he did. He was very cautious this year. And, in my opinion, and I think everyone could probably agree, we probably would have won the East a lot earlier in the year. If probably we got that Miami game in our pocket, probably would have already had this division already. So we wouldn't have to win out. But my God, did I think it was possible? Yes. Did I think it would actually happen? I was half and half on it because I honestly didn't know that all these guys were going to come in and pitch. And honestly, I didn't trust the coaching staff. The coaching staff kind of that's the only reason why I disagreed, because I didn't trust this coaching staff to really have the balls to put these young guys on the field with because all they're thinking about is getting to the playoffs, and they want to get these veteran guys back and all that stuff. So when I think about it, the first step in the right direction was Mac Hollins getting released off this team. That was probably the first step. We're like, okay, so now they're starting to see what we're
doing. It happened a long time before it did, though.
I
got rid of Mac Hollins, after maybe the Dallas Cowboys game, and you got Greg Ward in at that point. Imagine where this team would be then. This is what I'm saying. So it should have happened. It should have happened a long ass time ago. Mac Hollins absolutely stinks. Aguilar stinks. He should have been benched. He should have been cut. They should have done this shit, gotten rid of the trash a long time before they did. I think we'd be a lot better off than where. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We won the division anyway. We've overcome a lot of shit to be here. So it's going to be fun next week going against Seattle in a rematch of that Week 12 matchup that was won by the Seattle Sehawks 17-9.
Yeah, I was looking at the game. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was like, yeah, Seattle was losing. They were kind of getting slaughtered.
Good game.
So I think and people were asking me, what team would you rather face? And I was like, I would face the 49ers just because Garoppolo hasn't really been in a playoff game. A lot of new guys, a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you to that point. But if you look at the bigger picture, here's the thing. If the 49ers lost, then we would play 49ers this week, which we probably still win that game. But for the second round, we would have to go to the Green Bay Packers because the Green Bay Packers would then be the 1 seed because the Vikings ain't beating the Saints.
No.
That ain't happening. So for me, I would rather play Seattle and hopefully we win. And then the following week, we can go to San Francisco. I'd much rather go to San Francisco against an inexperienced playoff team feeling themselves coming off a bye with us having won hopefully 5 in a row to that point going into there. And I actually think it's very attainable to make it to the NFC Championship. And I think the way it's set up is more attainable than it would have been if we have to go to Green Bay in the blistering ass cold against Aaron Rodgers when we had to hang on by the skin of our teeth earlier in a matchup this year. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But you know what? When other fan bases look at us and they're like, "You guys are seriously talking about NFC Championship game. You guys are seriously thinking." See, they don't know that this team is like night and day difference.
This team's battle tested as well. Besides the New England Patriots and besides maybe the Seattle Seahawks, this is the most experienced team in terms of playoff games in the entire NFL, in the NFL playoffs this year.
Yeah, no, you're right. They got experience and I think it's just a team that's battled so much adversity this year, and the top team that has made the most transactions all damn year. Promoting guys, deactivating guys, releasing guys, putting guys on IR. I mean, it's been like a chess match. It's literally just been like they've been moving people around to see. The problem is when you don't have Aguilar, you don't have Jeffrey, and then when you have to start fresh, you don't know the strengths and weaknesses. I mean, they probably know the strengths and weaknesses of some of these practice squad guys, but they thoroughly don't know like how they would be on an NFL game type field live.
Right.
And so you'd have to bring in these guys, put them in, and just see what they could do. So I think for the past few weeks, we've seen what some of these guys can do. And honestly, like I said, whoever progresses and whoever can make the catches and whoever is put in the right position to win football games and make a play or, then that's fine. And I'm good with that because they're buying into the culture. They're buying into the system. Doug was just like, these guys are in a different mindset now. Now it's playoff time. Now they want to come back. And like these young guys want to be like, I want to come practice. Like I want to practice now. Like I want to.
Yeah, you see, that's the difference. That's the difference. The other guys, Alshon, Nelson, and others, these guys have been content. They're content with themselves because they won the Super Bowl in 2017. The difference with these new guys, the difference with Greg Ward, the difference with Robert Davis and others is not only were they not around the year we won the Super Bowl, these guys are playing like there is no tomorrow. Not just in terms of if the Eagles lose and the season's over. These guys are playing like there's no tomorrow for themselves. These guys are hungry for the opportunity. Greg Ward is hungry for the opportunity. Robert Davis, all these young dudes that have been brought up are hungry, a lot hungrier than our veteran dudes were.
Yeah,
because they want to stay around. They don't want to go back to being a coach at a high school or working a regular job or being in the AAF like Greg Ward was, being in the pro league, being on the practice squad, whatever. They want to be in the National Football League, winning games for an NFL team. So that's why they are fighting with everything they got. And it's actually really, really cool to see.
Yeah, no, and then you could just, what you could have, like, and if you look into next year, what you can have. This is minus the draft and free agency and stuff. Now you know what you have in this wide receiver course. So now, like, you can have your depth already set up. You may have a starter in Greg Ward next year in the slot. Just imagine if they put a deep threat on this team, or if Deshaun is, he'll most likely be here. He'll be here next year. But just imagine putting Deshaun Jackson on the outside, and then maybe drafting a guy on the other side, and then keeping Greg Ward in the slot. You know what I mean? And then how much more it's going to open up, and then having Zach Ertz on the field. I mean, it's going to be very unfair, and it'll open a lot for a lot of these guys. And just I can't be any more happier than I was. I know today was there was a few drives that were kind of iffy. They're kind of some dead drives. I mean, some lifeless. There was a couple lifeless drives where they got like no yards, or they just were like, what the hell are you guys doing? But they lost some players, and it was constant. Guys were going in the blue tent all fucking night, and I'm just like, now Doug has to change his game plan now. So now Carson has to change what he's doing.
And so whatever he did worked.
Whatever they did worked, and running the damn ball. This defensive line got after it. They swallowed Daniel Jones up. I mean, the one thing I can put the knock on Daniel Jones really is that his pocket awareness is like the worst I've probably seen in a while. So, I mean, he's got an arm.
Daniel Jones is terrible. I mean, I can't sugarcoat shit. I really wasn't gonna bash him during the week. Right. Didn't fucking want to, but anyone who knows me knows that ever since the Giants drafted Daniel Jones, I've been saying the guy sucks. The guy is a turnover machine. If you get enough pressure on him, and we got pressure on him early in the game, we got some sacks. But when in the second half, when we really got pressure on him, that's when Daniel Jones folds like a cheap lawn chair and starts turning the ball over. He fumbled the football, and the defense was able to scoop it up, give the offense really good field position. Also threw an interception in the fourth quarter, picked off by Sidney Jones, who had another play when we needed him to step up and make a play once again. So I think Sidney Jones is also starting to get his confidence back. But Daniel Jones, back to my original point, if you get the right amount of pressure on this guy, if you hit him enough times, if you sack him enough times, you get him enough times, the guy's going to give you the ball. It's just what he does, because he's the fucking worst quarterback in the league. And from a guy who is a draft nerd like myself, I cannot be more happy that the Redskins and the fucking Giants reached for Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones instead of having a chance to have the Heisman winner Joe Burrow, who's I think is going to be a really good NFL quarterback. Or next year, Clemson's quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I think the guy could go onto an NFL team tomorrow. And I can tell you right now, I would not want to deal with a team that had Saquon Barkley in the backfield, had Odell Beckham Jr. on the outside, and Burrow or Lawrence throwing the ball. I wouldn't want to have any part of that. But thanks to the Giants, thanks to the Redskins, they took two guys whose ceiling is to be an average QB to a little bit above average at their best, and we're stuck with them. So I don't have to worry about another elite talent coming into the NFC East to rival Carson Wentz's elite talent. So that's all I got to say about Daniel Jones and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so like the one thing I don't get, which I mean I kind of do get, but why is it like Wentz is like to the media or to like on ESPN or like Wentz is like held to a higher standard? Like every time they talk about Haskins, they always talk about the good things, but they really don't talk about the bad things. Or they talk about Daniel Jones like because he threw 5 touchdowns last game, but both defenses literally played like shit. It was like 3 and outs all fucking day. So, like, obviously he threw 5 touchdowns because he was on the field pretty much the whole fucking time. Like, no offense was on the, defense was on the field for that long. And when it comes to Wentz, it's like if he has one good game, it's not good enough, or he's not throwing, or he,
it's just the way it is.
Everybody micromanages his throws, but when it's like, oh, Daniel Jones had one good game, and now it's like, boom, he's the future. Look what you got in the back. They had a picture. It was today. They actually had it today. They showed like, oh, look, the future's bright for New York. And I'm like, he had one good game. And it's just like, he hasn't shown like the knock on Wentz was he can't finish games. He can't win in overtime. He can't win in the fourth quarter. He can't put the team on his back. And now all of a sudden that happened, but there's always something else they got to talk about. Now there's another problem. Now, who knows? But who gives a fuck? I don't care. I know that Wentz is going to be the best quarterback in the East regardless. He runs the fucking
That's
East.
a given. I don't even have, like, that shit doesn't even cross my mind because it's not even, like, that's not even something I think should be debated right now. But I'm going to stop real quick. Mosh says to come on over. No, I just want to say, Mosh, you can come on over to my house since your team is not in the playoffs. And you can come over to my house and you can sit on my couch and you can watch my team in the playoffs. Oh, by the way, your team's not in the playoffs. So also, since Christmas, I know I didn't get you a Christmas gift, Mosh, but if you would like, I could Cash App you or Venmo you $20 so you can go see a real barber. With that being said, I'm done. I'm done with dealing with Cowboys and Mosh.
Yeah, we're over it now.
All these fucks in here. He's really the only fuck that has the nuts to come in here right now, which is, for a lack of a better word, respectable. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. The Eagles are NFC East champs. We are moving on. We are going to the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys are not. Have fun watching us next week. Win or lose, we're making the playoffs. You're not. You're gonna watch us. Another year since 1996 that it's been a miserable failure and a laughing stock of the National Football League. And it ain't going to change anytime soon. So enjoy it. Have fun. Everyone else that joined the stream, thank you so much for watching the Read and React show. We'll be back soon to talk about this playoff matchup, the first of Carson Wentz's career. Looking forward to it. Going to be a good stream. So make sure you guys are there on Wednesday night. We will see you guys next time. This is your host with the most Philly Jim, playoff Philly Jim. And we will see you guys at the next show.
Yep, we'll see you guys later, man. We're very excited, and let's go get this shit.
Go get this shit, baby.
Peace out, guys.